Hi everybody, welcome back to Das Lab. Today we got this central vac hose that is acting a little intermittent. When you go to this switch here, can actually turn on the vacuum central vac remotely. There's wires running down there, and they come through to here. And in the socket, when you open up the door, there's two little contacts in there. And when you short those contacts out, it remotely on a 24 volt signal energizes the relay out in the garage or in the basement, wherever your central vac is. And what we're finding is that when we're walking around sometimes vacuuming, you can hear the vacuum starting up and shutting down. Okay, so like it'll go, so there's some sort of a loose connection in there. One way you can get a way around doing that is when you plug this in, you can see that this is a split ring. There's no electrical connection between this side and this side. Okay, on the other side it's split. So this is supposed to go into the wall, and you have to have this oriented properly. Okay, that goes up, and then when you close the switch over there, it shorts it out. The other thing you could do is just turn this a little bit so that both contacts are on the piece of metal, and that eliminates any switching in the hose. Can be a bit of a pain in the butt. So this switch has two positions. One is for just vacuum, and it'll just turn on and short out the low voltage signal for turning the vacuum on. And the other one actually controls the 120 volts AC out to this connector for the power head attachment. We're not worried about that right now. So I don't think it's a busted wire. I know it's just in this end right here. So I don't have to do anything with this. So I can kind of move that aside. And we will get into and try to figure out, this is designed to spin. So there's got to be some electro-mechanical pieces in there that allow electricity, both the low voltage 24 volts and the 120 volts to, there's two sets of wires in here, so there must be some slip rings in here that allow this to rotate. And I just have a feeling that we just got, some bad connections on some of the slip rings. So I'm going to just go and take these Phillips screws out, and hopefully, when we're all done with this thing sucks. Okay, you don't want to watch me screwing around. I'll come back in a second. Alright, that didn't take too long. Keep in mind, this is probably something spring-loaded in here, so you got to be careful when you open it up. Nothing fancy on that side. There's my switches, and okay, so there's my electrical contacts. So the wires must run up and then terminate in here somewhere. Okay, so that's what makes these hoses very expensive, probably $250 to replace them. And then these are the spring-loaded contacts that I'm thinking I'm just going to clean up, make sure that they're nice and springy. I'll check the board. There's no electronics in here. It's all switching. Okay, but I will take a look and make sure that there's nothing loose or damaged in there. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and clean up those contacts. I am going to make sure that they're springy enough, and then try to get this bad boy back together. So let me get some stuff, and I'll be back in a minute. Okay, so I've got a nice little file that I'm going to just clean these contacts up with. Something that I've used a lot of in the past, and there's really no reason why you can't use it, it's just a nail file. You just want to get any oxidization or any crap that might be on there off. And I'm going to put a little bit of a load of spring back in there to make sure that they got good contact. Who knows what can get in there, dirt, grime, oxidization. You don't want to wear them right off, but you want them clean. I don't have my de-aux yet. That's in the downstairs lab. Okay, and I'm going to just bring them out a bit so that they have good contact. You don't want to bust one of these off. There's no fixing that. You'd need a new board. So you have to be somewhat anti-gorilla with it. Okay. Whoops. Kicked right in the leg. And I've got some triple-aught steel wool here. And just going to brighten up those brass rings. And yeah, they clean up kind of nice. I don't feel anything on there. I feel a little greasy maybe. But they do polish up sort of nice. I don't know which ones are the AC ones. I don't know which ones are the low voltage ones. I could figure it out, but it doesn't really matter. Yeah, it wants to come off. There's no pitting, there's no big electrical arcs. I don't use the power head. I mean, it's mostly hardwood floors in here. So I'm not using the 120 volt appliance part of it very much. So I wouldn't say that there's been a lot through here. And then when you're done, make sure you don't have any strands of steel wool left over. Shorting any of this stuff out for two good reasons. One, if it's on the low voltage side, the thing will never shut off, and if it's on the high voltage side, they'll probably melt and could be a little bit of a fire hazard. So make sure that this is all cleaned off really good when you're done. I don't see anything too weird there. How the heck did that go? There was an O-ring here. Okay, and you want to make sure that's in all the way around. I seat that in there first. Yeah. And then making sure I'm not bending any of those the wrong way. Now there's going to be a sweet spot that's in there like that, and this is going to have to find its sweet spot. So that's got to go there, and that guy, that looks like it wants to go right there. Let's see how we do. Thread the needle. Is that switch going to go back on nicely? Yeah, guys, are you going to play nice? Should I take those screws out? I think I should. You want to come in? Yeah. Sometimes it's nice, you know, when you can, hey, they went back. It's nice sometimes when you can leave the screws in and you know where they are, but it can hurt you when you're putting them back together. Alright, so I'll probably try this out later. I'm confident that that would have done it. Like, what else can really go wrong? If you take a look at it, there's not much else in there. There's no broken electronic circuit boards or anything like that. So that's usually all you need. Clean up those contacts and make sure there's some nice springiness in the contacts. Clean up your rings, slip rings, and probably take the torque off that a bit. Don't want to overdo it. And you should be okay. And when you put it back together, make sure you got all your O-rings. Alright, I'll bring that into the house later and try it. And the nice thing is, actually it feels a little bit more, like there's a bit more friction on there now when I turn that around. So I'm confident that that will work. Okay, we'll see you inside. Okay, so there's the outlet. And like I said, the orientation that this is supposed to go in is like this. Oh, the switch must be on. Okay, let's try it again. So before you'd be vacuuming and it would be going on and off, we got it now. So one of the things you can do, I can turn it off here with the switch. And if I was to just turn this, that'll also turn it on, because now it's shorted out the two pins. There's a pin here and a pin here. So if you want to have switch control, you got to have that oriented properly. Alright, I feel comfortable that we've got this thing working. So that's all I got for you this time on DAS Lab. Have fun. If you like what you see, subscribe down in the nether regions there. And be safe and don't get any on you. See you next time.